is the ulna. The ulna is the medial of the two forearm bones and is longer than the lateral radius. It extends from the elbow to the wrist and overlaps the humerus. It is homologous with the fibula of the lower limb. It is subcutaneous and can be felt at the back of the forearm. It is a long bone and has an upper end, a shaft and a lower end. Now I will determine the side of this bone. The upper end is hook-like and its concavity should be facing forwards. The lateral border is sharp and crest-like. The pointed styloid process is posteromedial to the head of the ulna. So according to this is the left ulna bone. The upper end has two projections, the olecranon process and the coronoid process, and two notches, the trochlear notch and the radial notch. The olecranon process projects forwards from the shaft. It has five surfaces: the superior surface, the anterior surface, the posterior surface, the medial surface and the lateral surface. The posterior part of the superior surface is rough. The anterior surface is articular and forms the upper part of the trochlear notch. The medial surface extends posteriorly with the medial surface of the shaft. The lateral surface extends posteriorly with the posterior surface of the shaft. Now coming to the next process, the coronoid process, which is the crow beak-like process. It has four surfaces: the superior surface, the anterior surface, the medial surface and the lateral surface. The superior surface forms the lower part of the trochlear notch. The anterior surface is triangular and its lower part forms the ulnar tuberosity. The medial surface continues with the medial surface of the shaft. The lateral surface forms the radial notch. Here the radius of the ulna articulates and forms the superior radioulnar joint. It has a depression for the radial tuberosity. Here supinator crest is present. Now coming to the shaft of the ulna, it has three borders and three surfaces. The sharp crest-like border is the lateral border, which is also called the interosseous border because it comes in between radius and ulna. It starts at the supinator crest and extends at the head of the ulna. The next is the anterior border, which is thick and rounded. It begins at the medial side of the ulnar tuberosity and terminates at the pointed styloid process, the medial side of the pointed styloid process. The posterior border starts at the apex of the subcutaneous area behind the olecranon and terminates at the end of the styloid process. The shaft has three surfaces: the anterior surface, the posterior surface and the medial surface. Anterior surface is the surface between the lateral border and the anterior border. A nutrient foramen is present in the upper part of this surface. The medial surface lies between the anterior border and the posterior border, and the posterior surface lies between the interosseous border and the posterior border. The lower end is made up of head and the pointed styloid process. The head of the ulna articulates at the ulnar notch of the radius and forms the inferior radioulnar joint. The pointed styloid process lies posteromedial to the head of the ulna. There is a ridge in between this bone. The triceps brachii is inserted in the posterior part of the superior surface of olecranon. The brachialis is inserted in the anterior part of coronoid process. The supinator arises from the supinator crest. The extensor carpi ulnaris is inserted in the posterior surface of the shaft, and the interosseous membrane is attached to the interosseous border. It ossifies from one primary center and two secondary centers. The shaft ossifies from the primary center, the upper end and lower end ossifies from the secondary center. Now the clinical anatomy of this bone. The ulna is the stabilizing bone of the forearm with its trochlear notch which articulates with the trochlea of the humerus. This helps in the supination and pronation of the hand. With its trochlear notch that grips the trochlea of the humerus. On this foundation, the radius can pronate and supinate efficiently. The shaft of the ulna may get fractured alone or with that of the radius. In normal dislocation of the elbow is caused by a fall on the outstretched hand. Normally in an extended elbow, the tip of the olecranon lies in a horizontal line with the two epicondyles, and in the flexed elbow, these 3 points form an equilateral triangle. In the dislocation of the elbow, this alignment gets disturbed. So this was the ulnar bone. Thank you.